What is up, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the Credit Lake. Today we are reading Sickly Sides, a standardized fanfiction by the Antisocial Ghost on Wattpad. If you'd like to follow along or read the book for yourself, feel free to click the link in the description to go to the author's Wattpad or to the book itself. Chapter 9, Roman. I finished up dinner and call for Patton and Dee. Patton comes from upstairs. Virgil has a fever. I'm gonna take dinner up for him. Okay, thanks, Pat, I reply as I fill another bowl with pasta. After he disappears upstairs, Deceit speaks up. He works too hard, he whispers with a sigh. I nod. He feels bad when we try to make things easier on him. Deceit shakes his head. I wish I could do something to let him know he doesn't have to work so hard to be loved. I don't say anything after that. We all wish Patton would relax a little. He spends so much time taking care of everyone, and it hurts his feelings when we try to do things for ourselves. I imagine Remus taking care of Logan is eating him up, but he'll be distracted for a while. It's not often that he gets to baby Virgil. Remus comes downstairs then. He takes 2 bowls of pasta back up to Logan's room. He's quiet, which is weird. The only thing he said was that he couldn't leave Logan alone. I never imagined I'd see the day where Remus was focused on someone else's health, I say with a smile. Deceit laughs. He's got it bad for Logan. He talks about him a lot. Every time he starts talking about an idea, he ends up thinking about Logan. I laugh. I'm glad he's happy. Me too. Patton comes back down then. He and Dee take food up to Remus and Logan. Patton. After dinner, Dee picks me up out of the chair. I give him a light gasp in surprise. Let's go relax for a bit, I whisper in my ear. Okay, I mumble, yawning rather loudly. Deceit smiles. Sleepy? I nod. He smiles wider. I think it's time for pajamas. He carries me upstairs. After we both change into pajamas, Dee pulls me onto the bed and wraps me in a blanket. He reaches for my laptop and I realize he's already got Lilo and Stitch pulled up. Hey! I squirm into his arms so I could see the screen better. He chuckles. I knew you'd like it. Yeah. I cover my mouth with a stifle yawn. I really like this movie. I know, dear. He kisses my forehead. Try to relax now, okay? I nod. I gotta check on Virgil later, though. He shakes his head. No, love. Roman's gonna handle him for the rest of the night. You, he pokes my nose, are gonna relax for once. I frown. What if Virgil needs me? Then Roman will come down and get you. I relax. Oh, that's good. He hums in agreement and we turn our focus to the fish swimming across the screen. Chapter 10, Virgil. Roman drapes another blanket over me. He's already brought me, 4. Ro, I think that's enough. I'm not even that cold. He frowns, places a palm against my forehead and nods. All right, my stormy nights. He climbs into bed next to me. Do you want to watch a movie? He brushes the hair out of his eyes. I nod. What do you want to watch? Roman shakes his head. You're sick. You get to pick. Can we watch Sleeping Beauty? Roman nods excitedly. I'm glad I picked a movie he liked too. He grabs his laptop and snuggles in next to me. He tugs me closer, wrapping me in his arms tightly. The body heat is so much better than the blanket warmth. I relax almost instantly. Apparently, it was noticeable. Comfy? Roman asks with a smirk, and I kiss to my temple. I nod. Being sick does have some perks. Remus. Logan didn't eat much of his dinner. I tried to feed him a little more, but he told me he felt too queasy. We have a podcast playing through his speakers now. I finally got him into his pajamas. Everything seems to be getting better. He sits up suddenly. I tense up, thinking he's going to get sick again. Instead, he rolls over to where I am sitting, on the other side of the bed. I desire physical touch, he explains with a dismissive wave before laying his head on my lap. I laugh. All right, baby. I start running my fingers through his hair, scratching his scalp lightly. He hums softly. Thank you. I lift his head up and kiss his palm. Of course, baby. A few minutes later, he's snoring softly. I move him slightly so that I can lay down with him, turn off the lights, and remove his glasses. I feel the exhaustion from the day hit me all at once, and quickly fall asleep, Logan's head on my chest. Chapter 11. Roman. When Virgil wakes up the next morning, the first thing he does is run to the bathroom and throw up. When he's done, he sits on the bathroom floor, shaking really bad. Each time I ask if he's ready to get up, I'm met with a firm head shake. After all, about the 5th time, I cave. Do I need to go get Patton? Virgil grabs my wrist as tight as he can, which isn't very tight at the moment. It's too early, he coughs. Please don't wake him up. His eyes were sad and pleading. I can't resist him. Okay. I place my hand on his leg. He whimpers, and it echoes through the tiled halls. My poor baby. I mumble as I lean against the tub next to him, wrapping my arm gently around his shaking shoulders. He gives a hoarse chuckle. Don't try to be sweet to me. I feel disgusting. I kiss the top of his head. You're still gorgeous, sweetheart. Just a little sweaty. He laughs again. His laugh immediately brightens up the sad scene. And your breath isn't the best, but that's okay. He punches my arm, but there's no force behind it. How about we get back to bed now? I ask him gently. He nods, but when he tries to stand, he stumbles. I wrap my arm again around his waist and scoop him up. His face seems a bit redder when I set him on the bed, but that may be due to the fever. Thank you, he mumbles. Of course, my darling. Logan. I awaken to find myself alone in my bed. I frown. Remus left? Then I notice the bathroom door is closed, and if I listen closely, I could hear the sound of an electric toothbrush. I sigh. At least he's brushing his teeth now. I remember when he told me he didn't. I refused to kiss him until he promised to do so regularly. I climb on a bed and knock on the bathroom door. I hear buzzing cease. Then the door cracks open. Loki, what are you doing out of bed? Remus is still wearing a shirt, and I could tell he's just gotten out of what he probably his first shower in weeks. I'm finding it difficult to look him in from his chest, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not like I've ever seen Remus shirtless before. Are you okay? Your face seems flushed. Come here. He reaches for me, and I feel my already burning, metaphorically, face heat up even more. I'm alright, Remus. I'm feeling much better, actually. This is true. My headache has ceased, and my throat no longer feels scratchy. He still steps closer to me. He puts his hand to my forehead. You still feel rather warm, baby. I think you still might be sick. The pet name does not help my increase in body temperature. I believe the irregular temperature has nothing to do with my recent affliction. Remus looks at me quizzically. Well, you must be feeling better because I have no idea what that means. He gives a loud chuckle, then an even louder one when the realization dawns on him. Oh, I'm sorry, baby, I didn't mean to warm you up so much. I blush harder and I look down at my shoes. Remus places his fingers beneath my chin and steps closer, tilting my chin up. He places a gentle kiss on my lips. I reciprocate a little too fast, I must admit, but Remus has strange abilities that I don't understand. He quickly pulls me up against his body, deepening the kiss. It takes us both quite some time to pull away. I still think you should go back to bed, he said. Only if you accompany me, I reply against his lips. Gladly, he breathes out before connecting our mouths once more. Chapter 12. Deceit. Patton's still asleep when I wake up. His soft snores fill the room. He's pretty much got his entire body covering my own, so I can't get up. But that's not really a problem. I close my eyes and reveal in its warmth that the body of a smaller man provides me. He starts mumbling, and I have a stifle a giggle at a wave of nonsense spewing from the unconscious mouth. Don't let the rabbits make any fruit. Okay, I say with a smile. I won't. Patton sighs. Thank you. I giggle. It's not the first time I've heard Patton sleep talk, but it never really gets old to me. Suddenly he grabs a fistful of my shirt. The action startles me. Don't leave me. I freeze. This one isn't lightly said like the other. Not a simple request. A desperate plea. He's still clinging to my shirt like it's a lifeline. I gently reach up and pat his back. I won't leave. He relaxes back into a normal state. Thanks. I love you, Dee. That makes it even worse, that he's dreaming of not just anyone leaving him, but me. I rub his back lightly and whisper to him, I won't leave you, Patton. I'll stay here. I'm not going anywhere. Virgil. Roman brought me up what feels like my 1000th cup of water. My throat still hurts. The only relief is during a few seconds the water is moving down my throat. Roman gives me a sympathetic look as he runs his hand up and down my calf. From his seat at the foot of the bed, I keep telling him that if he doesn't want me to be in his room while I'm sick, that I'll leave. But he always says the same thing. Please, stay here. I like being able to take care of you. Makes me feel like maybe I'm helping. I always nod and assure him that he's helping. Roman heads back to the side of the bed. He starts another movie. The fourth. He pulls me into him and starts rubbing my back, probably hoping once again to coax me into a nap. Remus. Logan's making breakfast. He'd probably be good at it if he didn't stop coming up from behind and hugging his waist. He keeps letting me, though, and I can't seem to restrain myself. Eventually, he pushes a plate of eggs towards me. He allows me to put whatever I want on them. If we were human, he probably would have stopped me, or so he says. But since there won't be any repercussions, he's allowing it. I ask him how we can get sick if we're not human. He goes into some long explanation about how we are aspects and are unable to fulfill our jobs after doing a certain thing and can affect other aspects, which is how we're being contagious or something like that. I don't know. I nod, but I don't really understand, and I think he knows it because he just kisses me on the forehead and goes back to cooking. Chapter 13. Roman. Virgil keeps shifting in discomfort. Each time I look in his direction, he freezes, as if he doesn't want me to notice. After a while, though, I start to worry if something's really wrong. Are you all right? I place my hand on his arm. He looks down sheepishly and murmurs, Can't get comfy. I'm sorry, didn't mean to bother you. I stroke his arm softly. You're not bothering me. I was just worried. Anything we can do to make you more comfy? Virgil seems to be awfully interested in the wall. Can I go get my blanket? Oh, of course. Virgil's weighted blanket. I'm holding him tightly, but he probably needs more pressure. Being sick probably makes him anxious, which would make him fidgety. No. His face falls instantly, so I rush on. I want you to stay in bed. I'll go get it, okay? He nods. Thank you, Princey. I kiss my forehead. Anything for you, Spooky. I leave, the movie playing as I leave to retrieve Virgil's blanket. Logan. Remus, I say, holding back a chuckle. What are you doing? I'm making a sandwich, he cries happily as he slams 2 pieces of toast and shaving cream eggs together, causing a large shaving cream spray to arise. I smile. All right, then. I wipe the shaving cream from my glasses. Sorry, baby. He leans over and licks the shaving cream from my cheek. It is all right, Remus. I curse myself for letting him catch me off guard yet again. He giggles. Love you. I smile fondly. I love you too. Just then, Patton stumbles downstairs, still in his onesie, the seat right behind him chuckling. All I'm saying, Patton says loudly, is that ice cream is a dairy, so it's part of your basic food groups. It does not count as a dessert. The seat laughs. Is that all because you want ice cream for dinner? And another thing, Patton says, effectively sending Deceit into a fit of giggles. Some ice creams have fruit in them! Another food group! Deceit leans against the doorway, wheezing. Patton, darling, you're an adult. You can have ice cream anytime. You don't have to justify it to anyone. Who's gonna stop you? Patton looks pointedly at Logan. Logan says it's not good enough meal. Logan sighs. For Thomas, Patton, you may do whatever you like, but don't let it negatively affect Thomas. Patton lights up. So I can eat ice cream with my toast? Deceit is still wheezing in the doorway. Yes, Patton, Logan says, though I still have no idea why would you want to. Remus grins. Can I have some? Deceit sits next to Logan at the table, an orange in his hands. We love them. Yes, Logan sighs. Yes, we do. Oh! Patton stops what he's doing. We need to bring up some food to Ro and Virgil. I'll get it. Logan stands, quickly eager to escape the room full of his fellow sides. Cries of joy at ice cream at 8 in the morning. Chapter 14. Roman. I try in vain to get Virgil to eat more than the corner of his toast. He doesn't usually eat a lot of breakfast anyway, but I still want him to have something in his stomach. Please, I don't think I could keep it down anymore. He pushes the plate away. Okay, Stormcloud. I take the plate and set it to the side. He coughs loudly as I flinch. God, my poor darling. Ro? He croaks, reaching a shaky hand to me. Yavi, something wrong? Can we watch BuzzFeed Unsolved? His voice is soft and hopeful. I laugh. Of course we can. Come here. I grab my laptop off the charger and join Virgil on the bed. Patton. Should I go check on V? Dee shakes his head. You just brought him breakfast, love. I'm sure he's fine. I frown. But Roman answered the door. I didn't even get to see Virgil. Roman would have told you if something was wrong, Deceit says. How about we play a game or something? I hesitate. What do you want to play? Anything you want, darling. I frown. Are you trying to distract me? Dee sighs. I absolutely was not. Dee, come on, I'm not a child. You can't just bring up something else and hope I'll forget. Dee sighs and kisses my cheek. I know, love. How about you come back to the other side with me, and we'll go pick up some board games? I blink. Okay. I didn't realize until we were out the door that he tricked me. Hey, you tried it again! I shout. And it worked. Come on, Remus and I have Battleship. Remus. Logie, can we do something? I'm kind of bored. Logan nods and closes his book. We're sitting on the couch together. I was watching a plastic surgery clip, and he's been reading a book on the practice. What would you like to do, Remus? I hesitate. I don't really know. I was hoping you had some ideas. I giggle. Logan chuckles. All right. How about we go play in the imagination for a bit? You haven't done that since I got sick, at least. I nod. Are you sure you want to do that? I know the imagination doesn't really do it for you. Logan snorts. True, but I enjoy seeing what you create. Shall we? I nod excitedly, already thinking of the ideas I want to show him. Chapter 15. Logan. Remus, could we slow down a tad? I don't normally run through here, and I'm not as agile as you. Oh. He slows down quite a bit, and pulls a branch out of my way. I'm sorry, baby. I got a little too excited. I step over and nod of the tree roots. It's quite all right. I'm glad you're excited. I just can't quite keep up. I laugh. You want me to carry you? He stops walking and tugs me closer to his body. I shake my head. That's not necessary, Remus. I can manage. He wraps his arms around my waist and kisses me softly. Sometimes things that aren't necessary should still be done, he whispers as he pulls back. Perhaps. I try to capture his lips again. He wags his finger at me teasingly. You gotta let me pick you up. I let out a huff. Why would I? He gives me a smirk.
Because you want another kiss?
I frown and walk ahead of him. I think I'll survive. The smirk leaves his face and is replaced with a pout.
Come on, baby, please. Just let me carry you. Just for a little bit.
He begs as he catches up to me. You want to carry me? I ask him, confused. He laughs.
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I?
It's physically strenuous and energy consuming. He laughs.
I've got the energy to spare. Now, will you let me come here before you fall?
I'm not going to fall, I retort as I regain my balance after tipping. And besides, it isn't more dangerous if I fall while carrying me? He laughs.
I promise I won't drop you.
He opens his arms in a silent question. Fine, I huff. Just be. I let out an undignified sound when I'm lifted from the ground. Remus, I hiss. He kisses my forehead.
Sorry, Logie, I'll be more careful. Promise, just try to relax.
I roll my eyes and lean into his chest. This is preferably just stumbling unknowingly through the forest, but I'm not going to tell Remus that. Patton.
F4?
I say hesitantly. Miss. Dee replies with a smile. A8?
Hit.
I grumble.
G3?
Hit! Dee answers in shock. You did it, Pat.
I did? Yeah, I got one!
I cry happily.
How many more do I have to hit to win?
Dee frowns. A few.
It's a lot, isn't it?
He nods. Sorry, honey. I shrug.
I don't mind as long as I'm playing with you.
The human side of his face turns red. That definitely wasn't sappy at all, he says, looking at the floor. I giggle. It's true, though. He blushes again. V8? Roman. Virgil has fell asleep in the middle of the episode. I put my laptop away and lay down to join him in a nap. I'm glad he doesn't seem to be as sick as Logan was, but I still hate seeing him shiver and shake like this. I caress off his cheek softly. My poor little nightmare, I whisper gently. Too tired to enjoy conspiracies. The only answer I receive is a snore. I kiss his forehead and decide to take a nap. Not much else I could do for Virgil anyway, and I can't possibly leave my little emo alone. I wrap my arms around his waist and kiss his cheek. Good night, Virgil, I mumble as I drift off. Chapter 16. Remus. I show Logan a rather calm creation first, just a rat with far too many mouths. I'm worried he's gonna get grossed out. He'd promised me he doesn't think my creatures are horrifying, and that doesn't think I'm horrifying, but what if I push it too far? Logan asks if he may touch the rat, and I cackle and ask why he would want to. I'm merely curious, he replies. His eyes follow the rat as it runs around the area. I realize the look on his face is one of intense fascination, and I giggle.
Here you go.
I scoop up the rat and place it in his hands. I make sure it's too calm to bite him. I'd feel awful if he got hurt while we were out here. He strokes the back lightly and examines its teeth. Fascinating. How would it release excitement? He asks.
I don't know what that means,
I say, apologetically.
Ah.
He quickly explains to me. The only answer I have is a shrug.
Sorry, baby, I don't have to adhere to your rules here. It doesn't have to make sense. I could do anything I want here.
Logan chuckles. Apologies, the concept of being unbound by reality is easily lost on me. I laugh.
I know, baby.
May I see another one of your creations? He asks me in a soft voice. The rat jumps from his hands and onto the ground. It scurries out of sight into the forest. I grin.
Of course you can.
Patton. Deceit and I have moved to playing Go Fish. I'm going a lot better than him, and he's getting grumpy.
How about I go make some snacks, Honey Dee?
He nods. Can I have one of your special cookies? The ones that you keep in the cat jar? I giggle. My special cookies are reserved for good deeds, but Dean knows it's hard for me to resist his pouty snake eyes. Yeah, okay, but don't eat all of them. He jumps up and doesn't even bother to hide his excitement as he runs to the kitchen. I giggle. You really like my cookies, don't you? He nods. Of course I do. Roman. Virgil groans as he rolls over. He's been sleeping for a few hours now. You alright, Dee? I massage his shoulder lightly. He nods. Yeah, just need to stretch. I laugh as he arches his back like a cat. I hesitantly scratch his back lightly with my hand. He lets out another long groan. That feels good. He mumbles. I chuckle. You're like a cat. He nods. Yeah, maybe. I snort. You feeling any better? He nods. A lot better, actually. I reach for the thermometer on the side of the bed. Oh, yeah? He nods. I smile as I put the thermometer in his mouth. I smile even wider when I take it out. No fever! He smiles. Still tired, though. Okay, Stormcloud, why don't you relax for a bit while I go get you something to eat? He nods and rolls onto my side of the bed as soon as I get up. Warm. He hums. I chuckle to myself as I leave the room. I'm glad Virgil's not sick anymore. He probably needs some more rest, but the worst of it is definitely gone. Chapter 17. End. Virgil. So, everyone's feeling better? Patton asks as all of us sit down to the breakfast table in the morning. Yep. I give him a smile. Health is at optimal level, Logan says as he pulls his tie out of Remus's mouth. That's great. I'm glad no one else got sick, Patton says as he sets plates of pancakes out. Me too. However, I still think you should be taking some time off, Moceit says with an arm around Patton's waist. Oh no, I'm fine, Patton laughs. I don't get sick, and I don't mind taking care of you guys. You're my kiddos. It's my job to care for you. You can take some time off, Popstar. You don't have to spend all your time taking care of us, I say to him. He waves his hand dismissively. I don't mind. Besides, I don't see any reason to lay around all day while I could spend time with you guys. You can spend some time with me. Moceit pulls his hand on his own hip. Patton giggles. We'll spend some time together, okay? Okay, but you shouldn't take it easy today. You're all too worried over nothing, Patton waves his hand teasingly at all of us. I'm doing perfectly He's cut off by a violent coughing fit. Hello. He looks around the room. Moceit smirks as he puts his hand over the father figure's forehead. Fever, he says plainly. Oh, that's just great, Patton grumbles. Thank you all so much for listening today. I love this fanfiction to a burning degree, not even gonna lie. I was ecstatic when the author gave me permission to read it out loud. And I hope you guys liked it too. I find it very entertaining, and I'm actually surprised that I read the last 8 chapters, 8 number of chapters in under 30 minutes. I can count. I can count. Just not today. I can't count today. No, it's 8 because 17 minus 9 is 8. Okay, yeah, good. If you would like to do conversating about the book or just conversating in general, but you don't want to go hunting for people, I do have a Discord that you could come and join and be a part of and stuff. And we even do Wattpad Read Aloud contests where you could sign up and write a book with a prompt that I have set up, and then you're entered into a contest and the winner is read on my channel. We did this once before. I'll leave the link in the iCard right now. It was a really good story. And I guess that's all I have to say for today. The author's links are in the description along with my social media links. And stay tuned in for next week's book. Like always, do your best.